Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am talking to you guys from Portugal. So I'm currently in the Algarve, and I put on Instagram that I was traveling and everyone was like, oh my god, how has your travels been? So I think what people have been asking is how have you managed to get to England to Portugal, given that Portugal is one of the most vaccinated places and UK has really high Omicron cases. So I wanted to just basically tell you what the process is for traveling from UK, well, namely England to Portugal. So first things first, obviously your passport, if you've got a British passport, needs to have at least 3 months on it, especially since we've moved out of the EU. So you've got to make sure that you've got a valid passport or a visa, whatever it is. And then you also need to have your tickets booked and all of that. So that's fine at the normal way that you would buy your tickets. Now, you then have to make sure that you do a test. So you need to do a COVID-19 test, and this can be either an antigen test or it can be a PCR. Now, I don't know why and what has happened, but the terminology around antigen tests has changed. So we know antigen test as lateral flow test, but it can't be the lateral flow test that you do at home. So it can't be a self-administered one. It needs to have been administered by a healthcare professional. So that's right, guys. Me and my partner basically paid £90 to go. I'm a nurse, and a physician associate, he's a doctor. We both went and had another, fellow healthcare professional do our lateral flow test and give us a certificate. So that they are the rules for entering Portugal. You need to have had one administered by a healthcare professional. So even if you are a healthcare professional, because the certificate can't say self-administered. So if you get those lateral flow tests that they send out to you, then you upload it. You can't. It needs to have been done by a healthcare professional. So if it's a PCR test, it needs to be 72 hours beforehand. And if it's a lateral flow, it needs to be 48 hours. Luckily, both of ours are negative. We're negative. That's why we're here. And then you need to have that certification. You need to also have proof of COVID vaccination. Now, this is probably the most important thing. So we arrived yesterday, we went out for dinner, and if you want to sit outside, that's fine, but if you want to sit inside anywhere, you need to show that you've been vaccinated. In our hotel, we had to show that we've been vaccinated even though we've done the test, because everybody is really strict here. Like when you're walking around the hotel, you need to have your mask on. It's only when you're sat down drinking or eating, then you take it off. It's really such like a relaxed environment. Everybody enforces it. And actually nobody even needs to, for the other day, yesterday when we went out for dinner, somebody came in and they came to ask a question and they had their mask off, and the people were like, come, let's go and talk outside. And it was calm and, it made sense. Anyway, so you need to either have it on the NHS app or you need to download the barcode, which shows either your booster or your last vaccination. Or if you've had COVID in the last, 90 days, you have like a COVID pass. So I have all those apart from my booster. And anywhere you go, if you want to sit inside, you need to show that. Before you actually leave, you need to fill out a passenger locator form, which you can find on the website of the Portugal travel website, or the official government website for travel for Portugal. And unlike other places that we've been during this COVID time, so it allows you to do a passenger locator form for each, for both of you, because we live in the same house, me and my partner, but for this, we had to do our own individual passenger locator form. We printed them out, because if you don't print them out, they're password protected with your passport number. So every time, if you're at customs or anything, to open it on your phone, you need to, even if you've saved the PDF, you need to put the password. So if you can, then print it out. So before we left, we'd already had a test. We've already done a passenger locator form. We'd printed out or had ready our tickets as normal, and we printed and also had ready our proof of negative test. And I think I've missed something. So that's that. Now we're in Portugal for just about a week, and before we leave, we're going to have to arrange our a negative test. So I'll take you guys and I'll let you know how we're arranging that test so we can fly back So we're going to go and arrange that with them. Hopefully it's not going to be too costly. Hey guys, so I've just had my COVID test ready to go home, and I'm going to send the results via email. I do not do very well with these things, and it's basically like a walk-through centre about 5 minutes from where we live. Really easy to book online, or you can actually book when you get here. And it's with a company called Unilabs. So yeah, now we just got to wait for this. We get it in like 4 hours, and then we know hopefully we're going to be negative, and then it's time to go back home. And then once we get home, we're going to have a day 2 test, and we will be testing ourselves with the lateral flows that we have. So that's basically all the things that we needed. In terms of like going through customs, it's super easy. So the biggest queues I find are always in England. So in England, there's always massive queues to go through customs and border control. But once we got here, I had to go to the other passports, and Patrick went to the EU passports. I was out within like 3 minutes, and I waited for about 10 minutes for him. And it was super easy. They didn't check your temperature or anything like that, but they did check thoroughly the negative proof of negative test, and they read it through to make sure that it wasn't self-administered, and ours had a stamp of which pharmacy we did it and the signature of the healthcare professional who had done it. So basically there are all the things that we had to do to get from UK to Portugal in If you haven't already, check out my other videos. I also do content on career and other things, and make sure you subscribe if you've liked this. And also, if you're thinking of going to the Algarve, then please have a look at some of my videos that I've done and showing you places to go off season. And yeah, see you soon.